Okay, Abby, where are we starting off at?
Okay, our first one. Which of Nebraska's next 4 games do you see as the most difficult to win?
I think Wisconsin on the road. Nebraska's never won in Madison ever since they've joined the Big Ten. In 2016, the last time they went to a bowl game, they probably could have and should have won that game. Westerkamp was interfered with by Watt. They didn't call it, and Wisconsin was able to win controversially in overtime. But they've never won in Madison. In fact, they've really only played well in Madison that game. I mean, every other game has been fairly one-sided.
Yeah, they had a shot the last time there when they threw the bets late.
Oh, yeah, right? Duh. That's another one. I forgot about that game.
They had a shot.
The 2021 season.
Yeah, the 2021. They didn't play great. And the big running back got loose. Averaged 10 yards a carry and ran for 200. But Nebraska hung in there, right? He did. I think he got 200 and he averaged 10 yards a carry.
That guy blew that call.
Braylon out. Okay, now you're going back to the
Betts the Betts passing. They didn't call interference.
You think it was interference?
Both losses there, Nebraska could have won, were no call PIs. And
yeah,
the one on Betts was a pure tackle.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't think either Rob or I would push back on that. It's the toughest game.
I think that's going to be probably the last game they're underdogs in at this point.
How about that?
I still think Maryland will be a really close line. Maryland has a lot of talent.
Well, skill talent. They're not running the ball well,
but their D line guys are big.
They're struggling right
now. They have very good receivers. They have the kind of receivers that I like. They have a bunch of thoroughbreds, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" guys out there, but they are not running the ball well.
And you want it to be a cold, windy day for that game.
Yes, you do. Yeah,
make the quarterback from Hawaii play in that.
Yeah, Talia. And I'll tell you something. Though I was reading message boards. Isn't his name Talia Tagovailoa?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was reading their message boards. The people calling for his job in the fan base.
Oof.
Hello.
He's not a bad coach.
But
they lost to Northwestern though.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Next question.
Okay. Patrick Meyer on Twitter said it seems that previous Nebraska coaches are either good at recruiting or coaching, but never both. Is this finally the staff that can do both?
I mean, there's so many variables that come into play there. Schedule matters. I mean, Nebraska's had good coaches, but maybe they've played a really difficult schedule, and they've had guys that have still recruited well. I mean, it's such a complicated thing but I do think Rule has the traits where they're going to be good at both of things because Rule cares about every aspect of this program.
Yeah, and this staff's approach to recruiting is so much different than previous staffs too, where, say, the last 2 staffs in particular kind of stargazed a little bit, and they were going after the biggest names, the highest profile recruits, and then they either wouldn't get them or they'd get them here and they'd be gone in a year. So they're going after maybe a less heralded type of athletes, but ones that they can see down the road how they're going to develop. That's why you're seeing all these position changes. And so the evaluation goes beyond just scouting them at the high school level. They're scouting them once they get them on campus. And so that I think that long-term vision of how they evaluate players is different than probably the last handful of coaching staffs Nebraska's had here.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you got next, Abby?
What are the most realistic bowl games Nebraska could either draw with 6 wins or with a Big Ten championship appearance?
I think the highest bowl would probably be Nashville or maybe Tampa, but Tampa is like a rotational bowl now. I believe the ACC and the Big Ten flip on that one. And all the projections you see don't have the Big Ten going to Tampa this year. So I don't know how that Tampa
What
bowl.
if Nebraska wins out?
Well, if they went out and they go to Indy, I would say Nashville, Tampa.
Okay.
A lot of it too is will Penn State or of the big 3, will all 3 get in the New Year's Six,
right,
or will only 2 get in the New Year's Six?
Right.
Because if all 3 get in, then everybody moves up.
Right.
I mean, then you could go as high as Orlando or somewhere like Tampa. But I feel like Vegas and Phoenix make a lot of sense. I've seen some with Detroit, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Why is that?
Because I don't see how Nebraska would fall down to that bowl game.
No.
If there's a pack of 6 and 7 win teams, Nebraska will
draw for Nebraska on a 6-year bowl drought. They will sell out the stadium, especially if it's in Arizona or Vegas or Nashville. I mean, it will be a tremendous draw, maybe the biggest draw of any non-New Year's Six bowl. I don't think that's a stretch to say that. So to think that other teams are going to pass up Nebraska, even at 6 wins, if Nebraska's there to take, bowl committees are going to take them.
All right, Sean, you were saying 6 or 7. What would the bowl be, do you think? If
Phoenix or Vegas.
Phoenix or Vegas? All right.
The pinstripes in play too, but everyone just logically thinks the
Rutgers.
pinstripe will take Rutgers. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Rutgers hasn't played in that game in a long time. They'd fill the stadium. The
Oh,
New York media would be engaged and cover the game. I mean, it just makes too much sense.
Yeah. Unless Rutgers won 8.
Yeah, if Rutgers wins up more.
Right.
But
But 6 or 7, you think Rutgers is going to the Pinstripe Bowl?
they're already at 6.
Okay. Well, if they stay at 6.
Yeah.
If they win. But 8 might push them out of there, which could push Nebraska to the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah. It's not that though. Like it's a weird. It's they find best fits. It's not like necessarily a pecking order. Other than the
Mhm.
Capital One Bowl.
That's where
always-
Nebraska's going to get the edge, I think.
it's not even
Over. They keep them.
The
so what
TV
you're saying is
draw,
they
the
keep 'em
ticket
out of the
sale
pin-
draw, like
Keep them out of the Pinstripe Bowl is what I'm
Yes.
suggesting.
They're-
That would
or
be great.
Detroit.
yes.
Nashville would be a home run.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of folks would just drive.
That's a fun bowl.
That's fun.
And the Media Hotel is on Broadway Street.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've
it
been
is.
there and it's fun.
Yeah.
The Nashville fried chicken's fun. It's fun.
Hot
Broadway.
chicken.
Hot chicken.
Greg, our video producer, was literally sweating. Like he got he took it up a little too hot with his hot chicken,
Yeah.
and it was.
It's real. And it's really
Dripping.
tasty. It's like legit.
I was a wuss and just got like the regular mild, like not like basically like Popeyes level mild.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Don't need to be sweating.
No.
All right, Abby.
Not with all
Final.
that facial cream.
all my Caldera Lab will just rub right on.
Yeah, that's right.
Final question.
Okay. What restaurants do you guys recommend for Husker fans that are traveling to East Lansing this weekend?
Ooh, there's a good
We've
question.
gotten a lot of questions about that on the board, so this will be good.
Okay, so Robin and I, this will be our 4th tour of duty in East Lansing, and
Fourth tour.
we've had some memorable moments in East Lansing over the years.
Yes. Yes.
I've seen a lot
This
of
is your 4th or 5th?
4th.
4th. Okay.
We weren't there in '95 with you.
Okay.
No,
We were still in high school.
I was 12.
I was in high school in '95, but Crunchies is kind of like this staple right in East Lansing. They're known, if you have a party of 4, they will serve you a painter's bucket of beer,
A literal bucket.
like a 3-gallon bucket. And Labatt's Blue and Miller Lite. And
Yeah,
maybe-
those are the only 2 options they had was Miller Lite and Labatt Blue.
And Labatt's Blue in East Lansing is like the most popular domestic beer up there.
It's like their Coors.
It's like Bud or Coors. I mean, that's a big. But you get these Detroit style pizzas, just good old cheap college bar food fun. It's a good place. We've always had a good time there. Tons of beers on tap. Trying to think. Oh, Harper's is like
that's like nightclub.
it's.
Yeah, I've been there. It's too loud.
I've
lot.
seen
Too loud.
Harper's like
Yeah.
where it's been
Can I say
fully
that?
taken over by Nebraska fans.
Yeah.
And I've seen Harper's where Robin and I were the oldest people in there.
Yeah.
So like
Last time we were there.
I did a lunch at Harper's. I did lunch at Harper's and I thought it was too loud.
Harper's
At
is-
lunch.
But when we were there, when it was like 500 Nebraska fans in there, it was a lot of fun. But
Okay.
it turns into like the main Michigan State bar.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
But
they got a DJ and it's like a nightclub.
I know where to steer clear of.
Right up your alleys.
but we have a steakhouse on the scouting report this year, Robin.
Yeah, it looks phenomenal on the website. Bowdy's, Bowdies, Bowdy's Chop House.
We can walk from the hotel, so that's
Yes.
a bonus.
And that's in Lansing, though, right?
yeah, we're
not
by the
East
capital.
Lansing.
We're by the capital.
Yeah, so a little different there. Yeah, so we haven't done a lot beyond that in East Lansing, but it's a good time.
Yeah. that sounds
Basically, if
good.
you just hang around that downtown area, it's like O Street in Lincoln.
Yeah, and East Lansing, kind of like West Lafayette, it's its own kind of separate college district area.
Yes.
And then Lansing is kind of more like the traditional town. Just like when you go to Lafayette, there's a big difference between Lafayette and West Lafayette.
Yeah.
Okay. Bowdy sounds good.
Another bar that we went to was the Riv. I remember that. I'm just looking it up right now. A little smaller bar. If you don't want like the big nightclub scene of Harper's, walk down a couple blocks to the Riv.
And if you just want like a safe, like, hey, I want to watch college football bar, there is a Buffalo Wild Wings, like walking distance from the stadium.
Okay.
And we've gone in there and watched football before.
That sounds good. Wings always sound good to me.
I'm
Safe.
not, I am
up
not
your-
like endorsing like Buffalo Wild Wings as the best, but if you just want to go watch
for the
stuff
for the Steve Sipples of the world.
It's a
there's-
safe
for the
choice.
simple sipples,
Hey, it's a safe choice.
you're going to get wings and football.
That's right.
So
Right.
You're right. You're right.
looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah, I am too. Big game too.
I'm ready for
11
a road
a.m.
trip.
kick.
Yeah, this is a huge game.
Yeah.
Just think,
I am thinking.
a couple days we could be writing about Nebraska's clinching a bowl berth.
I know.
We'll
Been a
be,
long time since we've written that.
I know.